Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Ultimate General American Revolution, our Let's Play series of this early access game, which is on Steam. In our last episode, if you will, the British started, they kind of caught me by surprise. The British started a counterattack out of Fort George. They pushed south, they took Falmouth, they pushed us out of Portsmouth, and now they are threatening Salem on the road to Boston. Meanwhile, they are also engaging 300 or 400 of our troops off to the west of Portsmouth, perhaps with the intent of pushing inland to taking Fort Lovell and Stevens, which are both unoccupied, and that would be a real pain in the ass. So that's not good news for us. We are trying to build up a force here in Salem to resist the enemy push. We've got a couple of regiments here that are currently trying to form. We don't really have enough manpower for them to fully equip, if you will, but that's kind of where we find ourselves right now. And actually, these guys have experience, and this one doesn't? Or what does that represent? Oh, they have... what's the star represent? Maybe... I'm not really sure. Okay. But in any event, that's the situation we find ourselves in. We also just recently fought a naval battle off the coast of Portsmouth because we had two 6 rates or brigs, basically, which no longer had a home port, so they had to push out, and we're trying to get them to Boston. They did sink a British 30-gun frigate between the two of them, but they were somewhat battered, and now they're facing a British cutter here. They're facing a 12-gun British cutter, and so despite the fact that they certainly outgun it, they are fairly damaged. So we'll see if they can win that battle in their quest to try and escape to either Salem or Boston. The British obviously control the high seas, so any movement by our ships is a challenging one. Although the naval victory, at least, was nice. That's our first naval battle in the game. Additionally, we are trying to build up our forces at Trois Rivers for a final assault on Quebec in Canada with our main character, but we suffered a fair bit of heavy casualties, and we don't really have the recruits coming in Canada, so we are trying to shift the available troops we have to that region. So I've pulled out 400 men and 300 men from Saratoga and Albany, respectively, because both those cities do seem like they've gotten on the right foot with their loyalty turning in the right direction. And so if we can get those 750 men up here, we'll probably disband those regiments, or at least 2 of the companies in each, to get those into the replacement pool so that can fill out the existing regulars. And then we also have another 409 men moving north from, I don't know if they're in Burlington or Hubbardton, but all told, we've got about 1,100 more troops moving toward Trois Rivers. The Montreal, Chambly, and St. John's forces have to remain here, to remain in garrison, to kind of keep those locations under lock and key. But if we can get 1,100 more troops up here, we get about 4,000 men. I think that puts us in a good position to make a drive on Quebec based on the intelligence we have there. The most pressing concern, however, is down here near Boston and Salem with the British forces. Again, I do feel like we need to push on Portsmouth as quick as we can because if these 1,100 troops to the west of Portsmouth defeat this 300-man force, which they will, either they will drive on Lovell and Stevens, which will complicate our reconquest of the territories lost, or they will move back to Portsmouth, perhaps worse, and drive south, outnumbering us 2-1 toward Salem. So we need to figure out what to do there. Right now, they're probably too close to Portsmouth for us to engage the garrison there without engaging in a battle with all of them. But before we get to any of that, let's see what this naval battle has in store for us. Let's go ahead and jump in and see if we can defeat this 12-gun brig. We don't have enough crew members to take it as a prize, unfortunately, so we'll have to see. Oh, also, those ships of ours, missing masts. They suffered quite a bit of damage against the frigate there, so I guess they still have not replaced the masts that they lost. You can see here broken masts for both ships. Foremast and a mainmast in the 2 different ships. So that's going to influence their mobility against this British ship. So we'll see if we can get our guns into action. The enemy is... I don't know why we're not really moving. The enemy definitely has more mobility than us. The 36 guns that we do have could potentially turn the tide, but again, our ships are fairly damaged. We need to get them into port so they can repair. I'd be inclined, and I'm going to go on the accelerated speed just because I feel like Hey, dude, you're going to need to break away from that because you are going to get raked if you don't. So we're going to maneuver independently. We're going to try and, I think it's called wearing when you go through the wind. We'll see if we have any success with that. The enemy probably won't get behind us, at least because the wind is blocking him from doing that. I can reverse my turn to prevent being really effectively raked anyway. The red that the Liberty here has suffered, that's damage kind of to the armor, or whatever they call armor in this game. Gotta get both ships in action, though. Oh, there we go. We're fully dismasted. We could try and board them again, but we don't have the manpower to take the ship. I don't even know if we can move now. Maybe we just need to try and capture the enemy ship and replace our own with it. The British are level 3 crew, 3-star experience. Ours are, I guess, 2. Hey, dude. Nice. Okay. It sailed directly into the line of our guns. And actually, it's sailing directly into the wind, so we might have a chance to rake it here. Liberty is sinking, so... You can see the flotation icon here. So 20 crew are tasked with trying to save the ship, which is a quarter of the crew. I think Liberty will sink. But if we can get the boys off onto boats, and maybe we can force the Monmouth to strike its colors. And, yeah, I don't know why the American ship is called Anzac. Strange name. We're doing damage to Monmouth. As long as we don't lose a second mast. Will they ever strike? Like, what do I have to do to get them to strike their colors? Do I have to switch to grape and just hope that... I mean, the problem is I'm not really close enough to switch to grape. We could go to chain and try and destroy their masts. We're getting out of range here of Liberty. I don't want to sail into the wind. I won't make any progress, so I gotta... Okay. Liberty sank. Oh, they do have 2. Okay. Will they strike their colors ever? Can they board? No, they can't. Alright, well, at least I got a bunch more crew. That should... Oh, no, they're flooding. Switch to grape. Maybe you can force them to surrender before they sink. It does pose a risk that we lose... Oh shit, we're sailing through the water. We got one of their crew members. Alright, we gotta wear the ship. So I've switched to grape shot in the hope that we can kill enough of their crew that they'll surrender, they'll lose morale. They could probably escape if they wanted now, but they are flooding. It'd be interesting. If I was them, I would flee. You sank an American ship greater than your own size, and your own ship is badly damaged. But We might collide here. Hey guys, can you shoot? No? You're not going to shoot? Alright, could you... Alright, I was hoping to come up alongside them and grapple with them, but it does seem like maybe we're colliding with them, but I don't... I'm not really sure. Alright, turn around. I don't want to go through the wind again. It's interesting how fast-paced the land battles are. The sea battles in this are not at all like that. Alright, so their flooding looks like they've stopped, so I suppose that's something worth noting. They've made it through the wind. We are probably too far out to effectively use grape. I suppose we could use chain to try and knock a mast down. I wish I could go faster. Alright, he's definitely faster than me. His sails are basically pristine. A little bit of damage to one of them. Hey, we got one crew member. Maybe I switched to chain shot. Yeah, he's not letting me close enough to really do much damage to his crew. We'll try and switch to chain shot, which is ideal for knocking at mast and rigging. If we can immobilize him, then we can close the gap or maybe control the engagement. Again, we've got like double our normal crew, so that is helping us to reload our guns and deal with things a little bit more quickly. You can see here the damage icons have switched to sails, which indicate you're shooting at the rigging. Looks like he's shortened sail, which would lessen his exposure to chain shot a bit. Let's grapple. Alright, we're boarding him. And we're going to take her. So we lost a ship, but we're going to gain a ship back. Assuming I still have an officer to crew her. Wait. Why is she sinking? Why is it... Will she not surrender? There's just one dude. I'm confused. Do I not have an officer? I have 2 officers. Why is she not surrendering? I'm really not sure what's going on here. Okay, hold your fire, boys. She sank. What the fuck? Was she too badly damaged for us to take? Is that the issue? Well, that's frustrating. I mean, we sank another British warship, but... Why didn't she surrender? Someone open... Well, for the sake of role play, we'll assume they opened the scuppers and... or the scuttle and she sank. Alright, let's see if we can get the damn ship to Boston. Because she, or at least maybe to Salem. So we sank 2 enemy ships off Portsmouth. Are these British warships on their way there, or are those trading ships? Oh, those are British warships. Can you escape? Can you cut in? Well, they're engaging with the trade ship. Did you make it? Yeah, I think they made it. They did. Oh, they're level 3 experience now. Alright, thank you for the donation, someone. Alright, so they're pursuing our 300 troops. We're trying to escape to Salem. Our other troops are on the way up to Trois-Revas. We could use a department of the Navy, I suppose. It'd give us more abilities there. I still don't understand that. Like, I've seen people say you can't capture ships, but my understanding was that was always because you didn't have enough officers to do it. Because you definitely can capture ships in the Age of Sail game, which this naval combat is basically, you know, wholly cut from. So, I don't know if it was just like, I don't know why they didn't surrender. Alright, so Salem is working on getting more soldiers. Schaefer's trying to pull back to Salem. It'd be nice if Schaefer could escape and we could lure these 1,000 British troops down to face off against the men we have at Salem. That would be a nice even-ish fight. They still obviously have overwhelming control of the sea. 7 ships up there. We saw 2 down near Boston. I hope they're repairing the ship here. I don't know if I have to do anything to get them to repair. I assume this stuff. We'll see if these percentages go up. Yeah, they're pulling back. So they're probably going to send a regiment to Stevens and Level. I would if I was them. And a few more days to get more recruits for these troops so we can fully assemble the militia army under Benedict Arnold. Okay, so those boys are there. Boston is continuing to recruit more troops. Thank you for the resub, Major Stranzer. Appreciate it. 16 months now. I love the sound when you hear that, like just slow and steady barrage from a naval ship in this era. It just sounds so, not like a rippling broadside, but when you've got that slow, steady, methodical, one gun at a time, just something about it. It just sounds sweet. Poisoned wells. 72 soldiers are lost. Where? Just... Okay. Those damn British poison... It looks like they pulled everybody back to Portsmouth. Suppose they could have other rear troops moving into those empty forts. Alright. Not enough guns. What guns are you using again? 6-pound field guns? How many do you have? I think you have 3. Which, frankly, that's just going to have to be good enough. Okay. Alright. right. In the interest of efficiency. So what Salem we have right now? No recruits. So this group is going to disband. So they do drop into Salem's recruiting pool. At least some of them do. So that should give us those new recruits. Man, British merchants or warships sure doing work off the our coast. All right, so I don't get when you disband the regiment why the recruits go elsewhere. I guess maybe they go to their home county. All right. Can I buy any 6-pounders? Are there any in the market? No. Let's buy 4-pounders. See what the what guns do they have? They've got 4-pounders, so that'll fill them out. All right, let's replace these boys' guns. 4-pounders. We will buy one more 4-pounder from the market so we can equip those 2 regiments and then those 2 batteries, and then the other battery, which is this one, which still has the 6-pounders, should fully equip with it. Or wait, did I mix that up? I may have mixed that up. No, we just have the one. Oh, so yeah, now we got enough for a full battery there. All right, we're trying to rebuild an army for Benedict Arnold. Troyes is getting some recruits at least. That's nice. Strength of my army there increases slowly. I hope he won't become a traitor. I don't need that. But I don't want the French to not like me. Alright. Who is under strength and needs to be disbanded? I mean, these guys aren't really under strength. But I'd rather their recruits go to someone else. Like the regulars that badly need new troops. You know what I should have done is left a single company. Let's do that. Let's find, is this a militia unit, right? Let's do this. Disband, disband, disband. And then they've got a single company of troops which will go back and garrison Montreal, which hopefully is enough to keep Montreal on side, and then the Montreal garrison will move forward to Troyes. All right, the Boston men are pretty much fully equipped, or will be as of tomorrow probably. So I think this will be an early February counterattack against the British here. There. All right, so the Boston garrison. Leave Boston, go join the Salem boys. And I assume Salem will just draw up the reinforcements from Boston. They're close enough. So let's go one more day. Thank you for the donation, someone. Maybe they won't draw them up. Where you need more guns? Horatio Gates apparently sucks. But Yannick Schaefer. Damn, the boys will fight for him. All right. So let's do this. Let's pull these boys out. Send them down to Boston. And then Montreal's getting a little more loyal, which is nice. Okay. Nice. Byrne, we're going to go ahead and probably disband his regiment because his commander was killed and I could use the manpower. And then I think we're about ready to attack now that we've got over 4,000 men here. Or we'll have right about that. So what are we going to do? These boys disband. Oh, those men went into Troy's Rivers. I don't understand the game's logic there sometimes. All right, so we got 280 reinforcements, which should be dolled out to these units. And this one has the deceased officer. Okay, nice. So we've got 600 men, which will all should go to hopefully mostly regular troops. Okay. And then Fox's boys need to go to Boston. Are we debating Benedict Arnold's treason in the chat? All right. Not enough guns. It really thinks we don't have enough. All right, use the 6-pounders then, if that's what we've got. And then nice. So most of the regular troops are re-equipped. All right, boys. I think it's time. It's time to move on Quebec. Let's form a new... Oh, I don't have enough men there? Or loyalty there? So I do have some spare commanders now, too. Okay. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to send these 600 men up to Troyes, and then when they get there, we will have them join the rest of the troops. What guns do I need anyway? We need 12-pound field guns. And 4-pound gallop. Well, I've got gallopers, so I don't think that's the issue. All right, let's move one more day, and we'll move Benedict Arnold first. Also, is this ship repairing? Apparently it is. It looks like she's been fully repaired. Okay. All right. I need a few more men in this force that's going to go up against the British at Portsmouth. Do we have any troops that can be raised elsewhere? Does anybody have a lot of troops? Not really. New Haven, maybe? Trade offer. You want civilian muskets, you'll give me furs, and it'll improve our relations. Yes, I'm okay with that. Faced with a shortage of manpower and the pressing need for additional troops, the Continental Congress makes the controversial decision to allow enslaved individuals to enlist in the Continental Army. Enslaved individuals who enlist are promised freedom for their service and are integrated into existing regiments. Enlisting enslaved individuals as soldiers will provide the Continental Congress with a larger pool of recruits that will cause a reduction in loyalty across a number of regions. What if I don't do it? Wow, those are pretty heavy loyalty hits. We'll do it. I think that's a one-time loyalty hit, so I think it's okay. I'm hoping it gives me more manpower. It didn't. It didn't seem to give me any more manpower at the start. All right, we were gonna raise one more regiment in Hartford, I think. The grand old man, not really old, but we'll do Horatio Gates. Go with Brown Besses. Great. All right. All right, let's go one more day. Not enough ammunition or provisions. There's plenty of ammo and provisions in Hartford. That was just a temporary warning, maybe. All right, so... All right, go to Newport. It's so annoying that I don't have enough guns to man that brigade up. I really need that additional regiment though from Gates to get our boys over the top of that next battle. I knew that meant slaves. All right, what are we now in? It's February. How much time do it take Quebec? Still 232 more days. Plenty of time. Okay. Good, join Salem. I'm surprised they haven't pushed into level yet. Okay. We have 3 ships at Newport. Right, you should get there same day, I would think. Yep. So you should be able to draw the recruits from there. For Ticonderoga. 37 deserters there. Great. Man, a lot of our troops are starting to turn on us, huh? Not so loyal anymore, boys. Alright, meanwhile, Ticonderoga only has like 100 men. Alright, so these boys have arrived. Let's go ahead and put these in here. Oh shit, we're suffering some losses here. We're at 4,000 men. We must have lost some deserters. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to disband these 3 companies. They will get pulled into the other units, and then that one remaining company will act as the garrison when we push on Quebec, starting tomorrow, I guess. Man, there's a lot of naval interdiction going on. All right. Okay. So this is probably about as good as we're going to get. So let's go ahead and get the boys out. Can we do 4 in a brigade? We can. All right, so we've got 1,600 regulars setting out. $2,000 militia. Supply wagon. And yours truly. Okay. Are we still gaining loyalty in Saratoga? It says it's going down. It looks like it should be going up. I don't quite understand that. All right. So we'll send the troops from Salem north as well in the next day. Hold the line. Oh, they've got like 4,000 troops. Well, just shy. They want to pursue me though. They want to come after me. I'm okay with that. Peace between who? Britain and France. Bastards. No. Are you kidding me? 900 more soldiers are joining the... Again, another one of those events trigger. Oh, you're attacking, so you're going to get a whole bunch more enemies. Because we say so. Fuck it. We're still going to fight. They might outnumber us. Yep, you get to invade Canada. Hey, if you want to come down and fight me, they're going to send a small portion of their force. Yeah, okay. I will do this. Thank God for being dumb. They just... Maybe they saw the wagons and they thought, oh, this is an easy victory. But they just sent 600... potentially 1,000 men out of their 15 or 4,500 man garrison to face us. The only problem now is we have to make sure they fight us before they retreat, because they may just run. But it's a great opportunity to whittle down their strength a bit before we actually assault Quebec. God, they're never not going to see us. Gonna try and reduce the number of units I have by merging these. Maybe it'll let me more easily hide myself from the enemy. Alright, so the enemy's up here somewhere. Can you all just hide in the trees? Maybe they won't see you. This tiny little grove of trees. This is going to be a nonsensical deployment here, but just maybe. Maybe it'll prevent them from... Maybe, just maybe, we can get them to come after me. February 10th outside Quebec. Yep, they're marching through snow. Fuck, they're running. Get at least some of them, boys, before they get out of here. Maybe we can at least knock out their battery of artillery. They may not be able to run as quickly. I think it was probably the guns that gave us away. Interestingly enough, they're not actually running, though. Get the prisoners out of there. One company down. Can I just run into my line? Lol. Alright, I don't know why it said they've surrendered or retreated or whatever when we're clearly still fighting. Like they haven't vacated the map yet. On the double, boys. Chip chip cheerio. Both sides brought 8,000 snowshoes. Maybe that's why they haven't retreated yet. They can't. Oh god. Canister is not what I want to be dealing with. They'll probably just surrender once I get in melee range, right? Usually when they're in the we're giving up phase of the battle, that's kind of how things work. We're very clumped up. This is not ideal. Oh, we definitely lost more men to that canister than I would like. And there go the guns. Alright, I think that's everybody. So the enemy deployed 668 men. They didn't get the reinforcements. Oh, we didn't quite defeat everybody. We only lost 47 men. Interesting. It felt like the canister did more damage than that. But 47 casualties on our end. 432 casualties on the enemy end. So they lost 2/3 of the troops deployed. That won't even the odds totally, but it will get things in a better situation than they were before. Plus, they lose a battery of artillery, which is certainly great. Artillery is very powerful. No, prisoners act as labor. Prisoners are an economic boon for you in this game. They are not a drag at all. So, anyway, we routed them. Let's see if we can push forward here. Get closer to Quebec. So the enemy will have about 4,000 men against our 3,500. I don't love those odds, but also I'm not willing to give up on taking Quebec for a long time, so let's halt the boys. The enemy wants to come to us, they can. Maybe give our boys a chance to rest a little bit. Is someone fighting? Someone else fighting? Alright, so Gates has arrived. Okay, I think it's time for the assault from Portsmouth on the assault on Portsmouth to try and turn back the British offensive there too. All right, Artemis Ward is ready for a new project as the chief engineer. What do we want to do with him? I'm a big fan of construction. Hunter rifle could be nice, but that's a long time. Maybe more ammo and provisions, if that gives more to a unit. No, let's do the Virginia musket, right? Better guns is always good. Okay. We're going to raise some troops to free up some of those garrisons in our rear. The enemy is not advancing. I'm assuming they're not advancing south because if they do, they will get out of range of support from Quebec. Yep. All right, boys, here it comes. The Battle of Quebec. Now, the good news for us is that 420, 450, 440, so about 1,300 men for the enemy are militia. They're not regulars. And then another 480 are native troops, which I'm assuming do not fight as well, although maybe they do. Maybe they give like a morale benefit. I don't really know. But about 1,600 of the enemy troops are not regular redcoats. The enemy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries of artillery. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe we'll outgun them. We do have a supply wagon, so maybe our artillery can fire for longer. We'll have to see. But we'll have to see next time. That's where we're going to wrap things up here on the verge of victory in Canada. Yet another victory, I guess I'd call it, in the oceans. And we'll see how things play out in our next video. Until our next video, however, this is the Historical Gamer, once again saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.